The plane ticket was booked. There was no turning back now. I could feel the weight of the decision settle in my chest as I stared at my name printed next to a German city I'd only ever seen in photos. My backpack was nearly empty, and my bank account held just $500. My entire budget for a month in Germany. Friends called me crazy. My family looked worried. Their hugs lingered a little longer at the airport, their eyes searching mine for reassurance I didn't quite feel. Maybe they were right. The idea was terrifying. I sat alone at the gate, replaying every warning and every doubt in my mind. How could I survive, let alone enjoy, a country like Germany on pocket change? The thought of expensive train tickets, museum fees, and even a simple meal out made my stomach twist. But beneath the fear, excitement flickered. There was a spark, a sense of possibility that kept me from backing out. This was a challenge, a dare to myself. Could I really do it? Could I stretch every euro, find adventure in the ordinary, and discover a new side of myself? It wasn't just about saving money. It was about learning to trust myself, to be resourceful, and to see how far curiosity and determination could take me. It was about proving travel isn't just for the wealthy, it's for the curious and the hungry. I wanted to show that adventure belongs to anyone willing to take the leap, no matter their bank balance. I wanted to connect with the real Germany, beyond tourist traps and expensive restaurants. I craved authentic moments, conversations with locals, hidden corners, and the taste of street food shared with strangers. Could I find joy in the simplest things? Would a park bench lunch or a sunrise walk through a new city be enough to fill my soul? This trip was an experiment in human connection and resourcefulness. I wanted to see if kindness and creativity could open doors that money couldn't. The night before my flight, I barely slept. $500, 30 days. My mind raced with plans, worries, and wild hopes. $16 a day for everything. The math was brutal. Every euro would have to count, every decision weighed carefully. Every doubt screamed at me to cancel. I hovered at the edge of my comfort zone, wondering if I was about to make a huge mistake. But a quieter voice whispered, "What if it works? What if this leap of faith leads to something unforgettable? What if it's the greatest adventure of your life? What if you come home with stories you never imagined?" So, with a heart full of terror and hope, I got on that plane. My hands trembled, but my resolve was steady. As the aircraft lifted off, calm washed over me. The world below shrank, and my worries seemed smaller too. I was leaving my comfort zone behind. No safety net, no guarantees, just the open road and a willingness to see what would happen. Just me, my backpack, and that tiny budget. The adventure had begun. I was both terrified and thrilled. I wasn't just flying to another country, I was flying into the unknown. Every mile brought me closer to a new version of myself, and for the first time, that felt like a promise that the world was bigger than my fears, and that I was ready to meet it head on. A promise of stories, people, and a version of myself I hadn't yet discovered. I was determined to find meaning in every moment, no matter how small. The German dare was on. I was ready to see what I was truly capable of. One day, €1, and one leap of faith at a time. Germany had always been a dream, castles perched on misty hills, endless green forests, legendary thinkers whose ideas shaped the world, and, of course, the irresistible aroma of freshly baked pretzels. For years I'd imagined wandering through fairy tale landscapes, tracing the footsteps of philosophers, and tasting the flavors that make Germany unique. Touching down in Berlin felt surreal, like stepping into a story I'd read 100 times. The air was crisp, the city humming with quiet energy, and everything seemed so orderly and efficient. Even the airport felt like a well-oiled machine, welcoming me to a new chapter. My first purchase? A golden salty pretzel for just €1. I remember the warmth in my hands, the soft dough, the satisfying crunch of salt. That first bite was pure happiness, simple, honest, and somehow magical. It was as if all my anticipation had been baked into that single perfect snack. I was here. Standing in the heart of Berlin, holding that pretzel, I felt like I was holding a piece of my dream. The city's landmarks rose around me, and for a moment, everything felt possible. The excitement fueled me as I stepped into the city. eager to discover what lay beyond every corner. Each street promised a new adventure, and I couldn't wait to see what stories Berlin had to tell. Berlin was a vibrant tapestry of history and modernity, where centuries-old buildings stood beside sleek glass towers. The city buzzed with creativity, resilience, and a sense of endless possibility. I wasn't a tourist with a checklist, I was an explorer with a blank map, ready to fill it with memories and discoveries. Every step felt like a new beginning. My first mission: find my hostel. The U-Bahn and S-Bahn, Berlin's famous trains, were my first test. Navigating the maps and machines was a challenge, but it was all part of the adventure. A kind woman with a friendly dog noticed my confusion and offered to help me navigate the ticket machine. Her patience and smile made the city feel instantly more welcoming. That small gesture was my first taste of German kindness, a reminder that even in a new place, warmth and generosity can make you feel at home. Even when you feel lost, a friendly face is usually just around the corner, ready to help you find your way, and remind you that every journey is made brighter by the people you meet. Living on $16 a day required a plan. Every euro counted, and I quickly learned that being resourceful was the key to making my travel dreams last. I started each day with a careful review of my budget, mapping out what I could spend and where I could save. Hostels became my home. Cheap beds, lockers, and, most importantly, shared kitchens. These places weren't just about saving money, they were vibrant hubs where travelers from all over the world gathered, swapped stories, and shared tips on stretching every cent. The kitchen was where I turned groceries into meals and strangers into friends. Cooking together meant learning new recipes, sharing laughs, and sometimes even splitting the cost of ingredients to make our money go further. Eating out was rare. Supermarkets like Aldi and Lidl were my sanctuaries. I'd wander the aisles, hunting for deals and discovering local products that were both delicious and affordable. German bread, cheese, and fresh veggies became my staples. Simple, hearty, and satisfying, these foods fueled my adventures and kept my budget intact. For lunch, I embraced the Imbiss, currywurst or doner for a few euros. These quick bites were not only cheap but also a delicious way to experience local flavors without breaking the bank. Getting around? Regional buses like Flixbus were my secret weapon. Booking tickets in advance meant snagging the lowest fares, and the network connected me to cities and towns I'd never have found otherwise. Within cities, I walked everywhere, free, healthy, and the best way to discover hidden gems. Wandering on foot let me stumble upon cozy cafes, colorful street art, and quiet corners that most tourists missed. Culture didn't have to be expensive. Parks, free walking tours, and outdoor concerts filled my days. I learned to check local event boards and ask hostel staff about free happenings around town. Many museums had free hours or discounts. With a little research, I could soak up art and history without spending much, making every euro stretch even further. The best entertainment was simply soaking up real German life, often for free. Whether people watching at a bustling market or chatting with locals at a cafe, I found that the richest experiences didn't cost a thing. I expected Germany to be strict and serious, but cities like Berlin and Hamburg surprised me with their creative, rebellious spirit. Street art, community gardens, and flea markets revealed a bohemian soul beneath the order. The fan system, returning bottles for cash, became a fun, thrifty game. German directness felt cold at first, but I learned it was honest and efficient. When Germans smile or chat, it's genuine. Little things stood out: Spargel season, closed shops on Sundays, and the trust system on public transport. This sense of community and responsibility was beautiful, a far cry from the rigid stereotype. Not every day was easy. Rainy nights, hunger, and language barriers tested me. I made mistakes, like buying sour milk by accident, and sometimes felt exhausted and alone. But for every struggle, there was kindness. An elderly woman in Bavaria gave me directions and an apple. Hostel friends in Leipzig shared their dinner when I had only bread. In Cologne, a local photographer helped me capture the cathedral. These moments of connection were the real treasures. They reminded me that kindness is a universal language. This trip started as a money challenge but became a journey into myself. Stripped of comforts, I discovered resilience, creativity, and courage. Small victories, navigating transport, cooking cheap meals, built my confidence. My world fit in a backpack, and I realized happiness wasn't about possessions. Experiences mattered. Fresh strawberries, laughter in a hostel, a hilltop view. I learned the difference between want and need. Living slowly, walking everywhere, I became present and mindful. Most importantly, I found faith in humanity through countless small acts of kindness. I left Germany with little money, but richer than ever. What did I learn? Your budget doesn't define your journey, it can enhance it. Be creative, connect with locals, and find joy in simple moments. Dreaming of Germany? Go for it. It's more accessible than you think. Embrace supermarkets and hostel kitchens. Cook your own meals and meet people. Talk to strangers, ask for help, and walk everywhere. Seek out free experiences, parks, tours, museum days. Learn a few German phrases. People appreciate the effort. Be flexible. The best memories come from unexpected detours. Germany rewards the curious and adventurous. You don't need a fortune, just an open heart, good shoes, and courage. The adventure is waiting. Book that ticket.